Hey everyone, I'm Leanne and I'm the fitness director here at Duke. With me I have one of my personal trainers, Colin, and we're here today to help you orient somebody to the weight room. Whenever somebody new comes in, they might feel out of place. They don't know where they're at, where to go, or what to do. So in order to give them really good customer service, we're here to help you in what to say to them and how to work with them. Hi, welcome to Wilson Weight Room. Are you new here? All right, well hey, let me help you out and show you what to do. Before we get started, let's go over a few of our weight room rules. We really want you to have all the information you need in order to use the facility. First, we don't allow any backpacks or book bags or coats to be lying around the facility. So if you do have those things, for your convenience, we've provided lockers and hooks right outside the weight room. If they're all taken though, we do have locker rooms downstairs. I do recommend you bring a lock just to be on the safe side. Second, we really encourage you to have water with your workout. However, we don't allow any other beverages, food, or gum. Lastly, and you're dressed perfectly, weight room attire. Closed-toed shoes, and we want to make sure that we don't have any zippers, buttons, or snaps on our clothes in case it gets caught in something or rips one of our benches. Lastly, we know it can get hot in here, but we do require full coverage. So just as long as you keep your shirt on, you'll be good to go. In both weight room facilities, we have items that you can check out. In order to do so, all you need is your Duke ID card. Once we have this, we'll hand you what you need. There you go.
Thank you.
And when you're done, just bring it back and we'll give you back your card. Before we get started on the tour, one last thing to hit on is weight room etiquette. We're really big on making sure that this is a great place for everybody to come, that it's safe and welcoming. And in order to do that, we need your help. First of all, any equipment that you get out, we ask that you put it back where you found it, unless you found it in the wrong place, which can happen. And in that case, just help us out. And if you know where it goes, be sure to put it back for us. Also, wipe down the equipment when you're done using it. We have plenty of wipe stations around the facility to use. When you're done, you can dispose of the wipes in any green bin that's labeled for compost. As we move around the weight room for our tour, I'll hit on a couple other points as well. Let's go.
If you're completely new to the weight room, here's a few tips to help you out. As always, start with a lighter weight than you think you know you can lift. So in instance, all we do is adjust here. Most of these machines that you see in the weight room here have some sort of explanation as to how they are used. Simple instructions verbally tell you how to adjust and set up the equipment. There's also pictures showing it, as well as the muscles that are being used in this machine. To help with the flow of the weight room, you can also see that it's set up for more assistance going back to least assistance. So if you feel as if you need something with more assistance, you can start in the front and flow to the back. If you have any questions about how to use something, where to find something, or just have any other general questions, please feel free to ask. The staff here is to make sure that you have a safe and enjoyable experience.
All right, so this area of our weight room is where our selectorized machines are. As Colin stated, most assistive machines are up front, least assistive are in the back. So we're going to demonstrate how to use our chest press machine here. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the positioning of the seat is correct. As Colin sits down, he's going to push and pull on that lever to adjust the seat to the correct setting. We want to notice that his legs are about 90 degrees. Now, we know some people, based on height, might not be able to do that. That's okay. Just make sure they're in a comfortable position. Next, we want to check the handlebars. Are they at a good spot? They are. However, if he was slightly uncomfortable, there's a little lever right here that he could push and bring that back or forward without any resistance. All right, he's set up. Now before he actually starts the exercise, what you want to do is make sure that the weight is at a proper setting. As we stated before, always go lighter and then heavier just for safety reasons. You're going to pull out the peg and adjust it to the weight you want to start at. Now, our weights jump 20 pounds. That's a lot. So in order to do 5-pound increments, we have a knob down there that you can change by 5 pounds 3 different times so you can get any weight you want. All right, he's set to go. Now what you're going to notice is that as they use this machine, You don't want the stack to hit. Colin's nice and controlled, not letting the stack crash into the lower one. And when he's done, he's going to slowly let it down. And there you go. That's how you use any of these machines that are up here. The good thing is they're all the same brand, so they all adjust the same way, and they all have the same verbiage on the side. Pictures showing you what muscles to use, and if you ever forget how to use it, just read what's up there. All right, now we're going to move on to our next part of the weight room. Over here, we have our plate-loaded machines. This is kind of an in-between. A little less assistance given to you than the other machines, but more assistance and more stability compared to free weights. What we're going to do here is we're going to load these plates. What you want to do is be careful and don't use a plate that's heavier than what you can pick up. You're going to set those on there, and you're going to adjust the seat in the same way you did the other one. Make sure legs are nice and 90 degrees, feet are on the ground, and off you go. Again, Colin's not letting the weight hit the starting point. You don't want that to crash into it. You always want to hold that weight. And when he's done, he's going to set it back. Now here's the important part. Whenever you're finished, re-rack your weights. You're going to pull it off and set it down to make sure that it's ready for the next person. All right, let's move on. Okay, we're starting to move into the free weight area of the gym. So over here we have our bench presses. What I'm going to show you, even though we're not going to demonstrate, behind us we have squat racks and we have our Olympic lifting area. Any lifts that are done over there where you're going to be dropping weights such as a deadlift or clean when you get to that level have to be done in that area. We're not going to demonstrate those today as those are advanced moves, but just in case you wanted to know that. Let's show something though here on the bench press. One thing that we're big on in this room is using these. These are clips. No matter the weight, no matter how light you think it is, please use your clips for the safety of yourself, those around you, and our facility so that it doesn't break. In order to use these, you give it a squeeze, slide it on, make sure that it's nice and tight so the weight doesn't move, and when you're done, take it off, set it back down, and remove the plates just as we did before. And that's how you set up and take down any of the barbells that we have. All right, on to the next. All right, now we're moving on to a part of the weight room where we have our cable pulling machines. We have several areas set up for this. 2 here, and then 2 more behind me. One reason for that is that these pieces of equipment are so versatile. You can do so many different movements on all of them that we want to make sure we have plenty of options. So behind me, Colin is demonstrating a few of the different moves. One thing that you're going to notice is that each machine might have a different handle on it. We give a lot of different handle options so that you can pick and choose what works for you. Those pieces of equipment are kept in the rack in between these 2 units up front, as well as behind us hanging on the other unit. Anytime you choose to use a different piece, just make sure that you unclip it, put it back, and don't leave it on the floor. One thing to note is that you can adjust these machines by pulling out and moving the cable up and down the track. Now, what exercise you do is going to determine where on the track it goes. However, in all honesty, it's really hard to get it wrong. Even if you put it a little bit higher or lower, all you're doing is hitting your muscles a little differently, as Colin is demonstrating. He's doing the same movement that he just did, but he has it lower. Nothing wrong with that at all, perfectly safe. As you get more comfortable with this piece of equipment, play around, grab a different handle, move the cable up and down, and just do what works for you. Have fun with it. All right, now we're over here with our dumbbells, the free weight area. I understand this area might be a little overwhelming and people always want to know, what should I do? There's hundreds of exercises, but that's okay. You don't have to start with hundreds. Just do a couple that you're comfortable with. Start very basic. A couple of things to note is that the important thing over here is to be safe. Don't want to drop the dumbbells to protect yourself, the people around you, and the equipment. So as we've said a few times before, start with lighter dumbbells, and if those feel too light, just move up and wait. We're just going to demonstrate one exercise here to hit on a couple points. Colin's going to pick up the weights nice and safely, look around for his surroundings because you don't want to run into somebody with those, and he's going to take a seat and do a bicep curl. One thing with dumbbells is making sure that every movement you do is nice, slow, and controlled. When you start to move too fast, A, you risk injury, but B, you're also using momentum and not muscle, which is really defeating the purpose of the exercise. Colin's sitting nice and tall. He's not slouched over. He's in very neutral position. And when he's done, he's going to stand up, look around, make sure no one's in the way, and go to set the dumbbells. Be careful not to smash your fingers because that's happened before. Watch what you're doing, set them down, and on you go. Okay, we have now moved on to a really fun part of the weight room. In this space, you can do a lot of different functional exercises. We're going to start over here with our battle ropes and our kettlebells. If you want to use the battle ropes, this is how you do it. You're going to grab the handles and walk back, making sure not to get in anybody's way if they're around you. You're going to go all the way back so that the battle ropes are straight. This is to ensure that they're even on both sides. Once you've assured that, you take a little bit of a step in just to get enough slack to do the exercise. Colin's going to demonstrate one way of using them. Great. And when he's done, he's going to walk in and recoil the ropes. This ensures this area is kept clear and other people can use it as they wish. Next, we look at the kettlebells. We're not going to necessarily show you how to use them, but in case you're somebody who does like to use kettlebells, we want to give you a couple of tips. You know the first one already. Go light, move up to heavy. Colin's going to grab a kettlebell. Now, the key thing with this is making sure that you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure no one is in the area that you're in. The most common kettlebell exercise you'll see people do is a kettlebell swing. So you don't want to hit anybody, including yourself. Colin's going to go to an open space. What he's also doing is making sure that he is plenty far back from the mirror. Unfortunately, we've had a few incidences where the kettlebell has hit the mirror and we've had some broken glass. By being this far back, if it were to slip, it wouldn't be a good thing, but it's probably not going to hit the mirror and break it. When Colin's done, he's going to make sure to grab that kettlebell and put it back on the table. Great. Now, if you look to my right and left, you're going to see two big pieces of blue equipment. This is called our Synergy 360. There are endless number of exercises that you can do on this, so I really encourage you to ask our staff to help you out with them and give you some ideas. But we are going to hit on a couple of key pieces. Over here, for instance, is our punching bag. A lot of fun. We really encourage you to use it. However, note that it's not unbreakable, unfortunately. It's attached with these chains, and we have had the chains come undone. So if you're punching the bag, kicking the bag, and you think it's coming undone or it doesn't feel right, please just make our staff aware so that they can attend to it. Also, underneath the bag, there's a hook. If you kick this, it's going to hurt. We like to point that out, as some of us have done so and kicked it without knowing that it was there. In order to use this bag, we also have boxing gloves for your convenience. In order to do that, you go to the front desk to obtain those. All right, let's move on. The second thing we want to point out on this piece of equipment is the Landmine. A lot of people look at this and don't know what to do with it. As you can see, there's a barbell there that goes just to that. It's very different from the other barbells in the weight room. Colin's showing you how to place the bar into the lever. Now, on this end, you can use those rubber plated weights to place and load onto the bar. Great. Now he's set to go. Again, there's a lot you can do with this piece, and unless you're really comfortable with it, you probably want to ask for assistance. But Colin is demonstrating one move that we do with that. And now he's putting it back down, and when he's done, he's unracking his weight, putting it away. In addition, he's also going to take out that bar and put it back in its proper place. Now, this area, all set for somebody else to come in and use it as they wish. Let's head to the other side. So this piece of equipment is typically used for core and balance exercises. Now, Colin's going to demonstrate with a medicine ball. The one tip I have is to throw lightly to start because it has a lot of bounce to it. What we don't want to do is have it bounce back and hit you. Now he's incorporating core and balance. The medicine ball that he's using, he obtained from this piece of equipment. We have a bunch right here for your use, as well as on the other side of the weight room that we're going to show you in a little bit. When you're done with it, place it back, ready to go. All right, we're on to the last part of the weight room. Over here is our open space that's for a lot of functional exercises, core exercises, stretching, really anything you can do without a machine. We have our mats that are conveniently located there. We have our medicine balls. This is the second set, so a lot more over here. We also have stability balls, body bars. If you don't know how to use something, again, always ask the weight room staff. Over here we have some BOSU balls. People are always asking, what are those things? So Colin's going to show a couple things on here. So Colin's doing a BOSU push-up. And now he's going to show you how you can actually stand on the BOSU. If you feel comfortable, push one foot down, step, and then balance yourself out. If you're not comfortable with that and you have a partner with or somebody else, you can always hold on to somebody as you try to get up. There you go. And now he's set, and he can do some squats and add to that as he feels ready. To get off, same way you got on. Step down, off, and off. When we're done, we put the BOSU back. All right, let's move over here to a spot that we often get questions about. This black section of the wall is meant for medicine ball throws. So Colin's going to demonstrate how you use that. Again, start light and throw light just to see how it moves. Great. And that's how you use that wall. All right, so we just finished up here at Wilson. We're going to head on over to Brody to show you the weight room over there and some differences that you might see. Welcome to Brody Recreation Facility. You're in our Brody weight room. Now, we already went over weight room rules, etiquette, and some tips to get you started in a weight room. However, it's really important to know that each weight room is set up differently. So we really want to give you the flow of this weight room and point out a couple differences between the two. So, in the front, we have our selectorized machines. As you move back, you have the cable machines. You have our plate-loaded machines. In the back, you have our benches, as well as the squat rack and Olympic lifting area. So here at Brody, one difference is that we use pre-core machines instead of Life Fitness, which is over at Wilson. The main difference is that they adjust a little bit differently. So let's show you that. On pre-core, you're always going to look for these orange levers. This is how you're going to adjust your seating. We'll have Colin take a seat, and we'll see how it fits him. All right, he looks pretty good. His legs are 90 degrees. However, if he wasn't, all he would have to do is grab hold of that orange lever, let it slide up a little bit, and let it go. As you'll notice, the difference with that and Wilson is that Wilson uses pegs and you have to pull something out. It's a little more jerky. This is a little smoother. You'll like the feel a little bit better. Now for the weight stack. Remember, before you start, always adjust the weight and of course make it lighter than you think you can do, because you can always go heavier. Again, we're going to look at the orange peg, pull it out, choose a weight. Now if you want to do the incremental weights, at Wilson you have to add the weight. Here you can just pull up or push down on that orange lever. Let's give it a try. All right, Colin's going to get into position. Now, he pushed down on the pedal. What that did was bring the weight out in front of him so that it's nice and comfortable and he doesn't have to get into an awkward position. So push. Now his foot comes down and he's ready to go. Go for it, Colin. Nice and easy. Good positioning. He's not letting the weight stack hit. We talked about that already, but remember, the weight stack should not hit. He should always keep resistance. And when he's done, on this machine, he's going to put his feet back up on the pedal and slowly lower the weight. And that's how you use all these pre-core selectorized machines. All right, let's move on to a really fun line of equipment. This is called free motion. We have about 8 different machines that are free motion based. What I really like about these cable pulley machines is that they give you a little more instability to create stability. So this is kind of the next step up from our selectorized machines, and we're going to show you the dual cable crossover. All right, with this machine, one important thing to note is that these levers look a lot heavier than they are. So really be careful when you're adjusting the weight. Colin, can you adjust that one for me? Is that pretty light? Mm-hmm. All right. If you're not careful, it's going to go flying because you think you need a lot more force. So remember, it's pretty light to adjust. We're going to show you a couple different things you can do on this. With this machine, the setup is all about what exercise you want to do. In essence, you really can't get it wrong because of the cable. It'll move with your body. So what we're going to demonstrate to start is a pull. Colin's going to make sure it's adjusted to where he wants it. So let's point out what he just did. He adjusted this lever inside, which if you pull up, swings the handle in and out. And then this knob right here brings it up or down. So you have multiple ways to use it. All right, next, of course, we want to check the weight. Start lighter and give it a try. And notice, Colin pulled the weight and stepped back. Anytime we're using these cable machines, anything with a plate, you don't want the plate to hit. So in order for that to happen, you must step back and create a space. There he is. He's going to pull. It doesn't hit. And when he's done, he's going to walk it in nice and slow so that it sets. Now, let's get creative. This machine can be used for multiple body parts in different ranges of motion and different planes of motion. What you want to do if you're going to use both pulleys is make sure the weight stacks have the same amount of weight. You don't want to pull on one side real heavy and one side be light. So Colin's going to make sure that both of the weight stacks are right. We're going to make sure that both of these are set up the same. Are we on 3? Yep, you're on 3. You can just check by the number of holes that are showing to make sure that they're both set up the same. Now, he's going to come in front, and he's going to do a little squat to press. Checking to make sure all of his numbers are in order. He's going to step away, squat to press. Total body. You can do an actual total body workout just with this one machine. And as you get comfortable with it, play around. Single lever or use both. And again, when he's ready to be done, he's going to walk back nice and slow until the stacks hit. Now, if you're looking for a place in Brody to do some core exercises or some stretching, you want to make sure to find some open space. Here's one of those. This is where you're going to find your equipment. We have some BOSU balls and some stability balls, as well as our mats, which are hanging over there. Now, if this is a little bit too crowded or not private enough, what we can do is go right around this corner and show you how to set up in a space there. Over here, we have Colin on a mat doing some stretching. If you notice, he has the mat parallel to the wall. This is in order to create a walkway next to him so that people can pass through freely. He can stretch, he can do core, you can do a body weight workout. As long as there's space back here, take advantage. But remember, when you finish, you always want to make sure to put all your equipment back where it belongs, as well as wipe down your mats. I hope this experience was both enjoyable and educational at the same time. Thanks for working with us.